じゃあここら辺の試して。他の人に座られた。So the other side was misty, and then the side that is clear, like this side, somebody was like sitting here, so I could only film starting from now.今日の74はかなり早い。 ベンツの下路12メートル。Oh, it's an 855 double deck. At this timing. I honestly didn't know like some of them had some of the double deckers on like 855. They're like full day. I thought it was only like split.美しいね、その夜景。左と右側に森林がある。左側はちょっと小さな森林。右側なのはもっと大きい。動物園につながってる森林。でもここから動物園まで歩けないんです。とても危ないから。シンガポール日本人会に着いた。通過。ああ、信号の運が良くない。マレーシアから来た。 したろう。あとは卵。私が今にいるバスは、そのバスの愛称は卵。前の姿はちょっと卵の形なので、卵という愛称となりました。英語で EGG、エッグ。48の下ろ2台しかない。他のバスはスカニアとかエグとか、そのエグはボルボ B90L、ライト、イクリプス、ジェミニ2。日本語でちょっと言いにくいよね。スカニア186、週末土日祝には時間制となっている。今ブケチマに入る。愛称は、チマオカだと思う。シンガポールで山が全然ない。すべて丘ですよね。一番高いところは163、64メートルだけ。残念ながらそのところで雨が降っているとき、大雨が降っているとき、洪水になりやすい。右側には、なんでその運河がある。川じゃなくて運河。でも高さについてそのところがちょっと低い。なので洪水になりやすい。洪水の恐れがある。平日の朝と平日の夕方、でも特に朝の時、渋滞がとてもひどい。ここら辺でとてもいい学校がいっぱい並んでる。ファチョン、日本語で甲冑、ちょっと変なんですけど、花々しいの花、中華の花と中、甲冑となる。ファチョンナショナルジュニアコレージとか、MGS メトディスガールスクールとか、とてもいい学校、競争しているかも。成績について競争している。みんなが激しい競争をしている。ストレスが溜まっちゃったね。So basically it's like people in these schools, like, okay, RI is not here, but it's like HCI. HCI, it's like, I think 1/3 of the cohort or something along those lines. Is it 1/3 or 1/4? It's like every single year they manage to produce, okay, right now it's only 70, but like 70 points. but in the past it was like 90 rank points, 90. And to get 90 rank points, you need like A's for like your 3 major subjects and your minor contrasting subject, or like no, your minor contrasting subject, as well as project work and general paper. But right now your contrasting subject isn't really counted unless your grade, when you include the grade, it actually, and then you recalculate the entire thing, it actually gives you a better score, then they would include it. But otherwise, like if your results aren't really that good, then they wouldn't really include like the H1 contrasting subject. And project work is now like, it's just pass or fail. So the only thing that's left graded for like the minor subjects is it's just general paper, and when you add them together, it's like for the major subjects, it's the highest number of like rank points you can get is like 20. So you have 3 subjects, so it's like 20 times 3 is 60, and then you add 10 to it. The 10 comes from general paper. It's only a minor subject, so it's half the weightage, so it adds up to like 70. And then yeah, as you know, in the past there was like your contrasting subject as well as your project work, they are graded the same way as general paper, so people could get 90 rank points. I was from JC2. I got 85. But honestly, like the score that you get really doesn't determine your like future or anything. So because I like genuinely like worked hard for it, I got like 85. So I was just wondering, like, how do these people in like these competitive schools, they even like how do they even manage to get like 90 points? It seems like you have to be a robot and like constantly mug for hours and hours and hours. And that was kind of what I did, but I really didn't enjoy it. I needed to go listen to like some K-pop and stuff like that so that I could like study. Otherwise, I would just like have zero motivation. I used to be like kind of good when it comes to like chemistry theory. I wasn't a big fan of like math, and I wasn't that good in physics. So yeah, I kind of struggled in these two. But right now I forgot everything that's like chemistry. But I did remember that like my favorite topic in chemistry, like as a major subject, was transition metals, because you could see color. It's like when it comes to chemistry, most of the compounds, not compounds, but it's like most of the things that they allow you to touch in the lab, they're like kind of like colorless, be it gases or like liquids or solids. And at most they were like gray, black, like really dull colors. But then when you get to metals, you see them in like solid form, you also see them in aqueous form. When you see them in aqueous form, they kind of like, I don't know, it's something to do with when light hits them, they reflect polarized light or something along those lines, and then they give off like these I don't know, it's like it reflects light and then you see it as a certain color, from like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And that's why, because you can see color, it's just really colorful. That's why I love that topic. It was really just because of the color, not saying that I like did really well for that topic or anything. And yes, transition metals, they also when it comes to chemical bonding, it's quite special. It's like that kind of like 1s2, 2s2, that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm just recalling. But I think I've forgotten everything. (74) and 154. Eggs. what's the chemistry of eggs? Do you guys know? I only know they're made from like... Do they contain sulfur? I think the shell contains like some form of sulfur, and the rest is like just calcium, stuff like that. Yeah, I honestly forgot everything. The fact that I can even say sulfur. But I'm pretty sure the eggshells have like some form of sulfur in it. So yeah, I was saying something along the lines that like, I think iron 2 plus was like green or blue, and then, or was it copper? Copper 2 plus was blue. Iron 2 plus was like green. Iron 3 plus was like orange, yellowish, and I honestly forgot what's red. I only can think of like the litmus paper test. The KMNO4, I forgot what the name is. It's like potassium and manganese oxide for... I completely forgot. It's like MnO4 is like a compound ion. It's like there's like the Mn and the oxygen, the manganese and the oxygen, they're like covalently bonded. And then there's like ionic bonds between K plus and O2 minus. Now obviously like every single compound, it's kind of like a spectrum. There's like a degree of like ionic and covalent character, but yeah. Wait, is KMNO4 like... Okay, yeah, wait. There is covalent bonding inside the MnO4, but between the K and as well as like the MnO4, I think it's mostly ionic. So yeah, and it's purple. And then you're supposed to, like, when you add stuff to like that KMNO4, it's supposed to be like, how would I say it? It's supposed to turn from like purple to colorless. You don't usually do it the other way around, although you technically could, but it's not gonna be KMNO4. Like, how do you even form KMNO4? It's usually from KMNO4. You add something to it, and then it becomes colorless. But the reason why it becomes colorless, I have no idea. I think it's probably have got to do with like, you know, the change in oxidation states from like 4 to 2 to something. Basically, transition metals, there are like many oxidation states, and then each oxidation state, it corresponds to like a different color, which is why, again, I mean, if you're a bus fan and you kind of, I'm just saying, right now I don't really have like as big of an interest as I had in chemistry last time when I was studying, like in JC. But like, where was I? Like, basically I just enjoyed looking at colors when it came to chemistry. Oh, there's a 151 Citaro there. Yatta. Okay, so it's like, you know, like if you're a bus fan or like of around my age, you would probably like colors as well. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Because it's like, you know, the different destals, they have red, they have blue, they have green, and because we love seeing colors, we love seeing design, and that's why we might, people who are like similar as compared to me, they would probably like transition metals a lot. I don't know how the conversation from like that JC conversation, like Bukit Timah being filled with JCs, led us to chemistry, but yeah. I would say that's like kind of like one of my favorite pastimes. I would like watch periodic videos and just learn about the stuff that like wasn't really taught in the classroom. Nowadays I don't really like watch a lot. Although yes, transition metals was my favorite topic. And then for math, even though it's like kind of technical, I loved meddling with my graphic calculator a lot. And I remember like my school being like really pissed off at me because everybody else had like the Texas Instruments graphic calculator, and I actually used a pre-owned it was a Casio one. But since Casio is Japanese, I think I'm supposed to pronounce it Casio instead. Casio. So yeah, I used that calculator, and unlike the Texas Instruments, be it like the fat one or the thin one, there were two. The fat one is the old one, and then the thinner one, the one that like is like more compact. That one is like the new one. And then they had color as well, but my Casio graphic calculator, it was like it was just black and white. But the good thing about it is that you didn't need to like charge it like your phone or your laptop. It is really just battery operated, unlike the Texas Instruments where you had to like charge it. So I never really had to worry about like, you know, my GC just dying on me because I forgot to charge it like the previous day or something along those lines. And that's why I mean that calculator is like dead already, but I am really really thankful for it, and the fact that I didn't really have to waste money like $130-$140 just to buy. No, I think 130 and 40 was like the bigger one. The smaller one, if I'm not wrong, the more compact one was like way more expensive. It was like to the point of overpriced. Yeah, and that's why. Okay, but the reason why I love graphing was because and they're technical, but it's like I just liked seeing the different kinds of graphs. You know, they kind of have a teaser whereby they make you draw a heart shape with that graphing calculator and stuff like that. It's not tested in the exam, but it's like it's just something that you could do for fun, like when you're bored. And yeah, that was kind of the reason why I just like seeing different graphs. And then when I was younger, I used to be somewhat interested in like, oh, what's the volume or surface area of like conics in general? Like, you know, a cone, like, you know, the ice cream cone, or like a cylinder or a sphere or stuff like that. Is it like 4 third pi r cubed? And then the surface area was like something pi r square. I complete. Oh wait, you differentiate it. So from 4 third pi r cubed, when you differentiate it, it becomes like 4 pi r square, if I'm not wrong, something along those lines. I completely forgot everything about differentiation. I can only do like the simple one, like 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 you know the really basic one. I don't even know how to derive it. It's just basic power bring down power minus 1, add 1 to the power, and then divide by the final power. That's what integration, that kind of thing. That's the only thing that I remember from math. And then for physics, there isn't really anything that stuck out to me. I know heat was difficult because I had to prove, like, as in like as students, you need to know the 1/3, that volume formula, the heat particle collision thingy. I dislike that. And then there was also like waves, stationary waves, like superposition had like diffraction grading, double slit, single slit. Wait, the double, single, diffraction, yeah, and stationary wave. You would learn like double slit first, and then diffraction, because it's sort of related to like double slit. It's just a bit more special, like a more unique thing. Diffraction means like loads of slits, small slits. I forgot what exactly like the different effects that they produce, but like it was double diffraction, and then we learned single, and then finally stationary waves. And stationary waves would explain your instruments, like do re mi fa sol la ti do, the different frequencies corresponding to like, I don't know, and resonance and stuff like that. And then the stationary wave, there was also something like damping oscillations or something like damped oscillations, which is like actually really practical like in the real world. It's just that like if you ask me to explain right now, I really don't know how to explain at all. And yes, now we're nearby ACS International, which is like infamous for like the students talking like really loudly for no reason. I don't know why. And then further down the road there is Anglo-Chinese Junior College, ACJC, which is like the better one of all the ACS schools. And I think ACJC is special because they explicitly tell you like the promotion criteria and the criteria for advancement. So if you advance instead of promote, you would be required to sit a diagnostic test. If you pass, they would like advance you to JC2. If you fail, you would retain as per usual. I mean that's for advancement. I think different schools do it differently. Some schools they make you it's like they promote everybody who is advanced to like JC2, except the fact that like you have to like clock in 80 or 100 hours of self-study or stuff like that. And different schools they have like different advancement criteria. I think CJC used to do it by like if you get 30 rank points, they would advance you by quota or stuff like that. No, 30 was to promote, and then advancement was done based on like your relative performance, like based on quota. They need a minimum number of like JC2s every year, so they don't want to like retain anybody. And then ACJC was like, to promote you need like 2H2 and 1H1, and to advance back then it was like 1H2, 1H1. Now obviously it has changed, but like they actually explicitly tell you like the advancement and promotion criterias. So yeah. And then the other reason why ACJC was special is that I'm not sure if this is true like right now, but you're able to like choose any subjects, and then your timetable somehow it's able to accommodate you. They have like a lot of teachers. So this is what I've heard from like a friend of mine who used to study in ACJC. I didn't come from ACJC. I was from a neighboring JC. I was from a neighborhood school like all my life. So yeah, it's still quite impressive that like I managed to like, you know, get the results that I wanted to get, because I just worked hard for it. So yeah, my O-levels was horrible though. So yeah. But obviously I'm going back to Japan next year, so it really doesn't matter honestly. It's just recounting my school experience, I guess. It's cause like a lot of people, like when I talk to them online, they thought I was from like, you know, poly or IT based on, you know, the way I carry myself, I conduct myself and stuff like that. They honestly thought I was from the like, you know, a technical school, kogakuin, they would call it in Japanese. But I was actually from JC, and then when they heard that, they were like kind of surprised. And the reason why I chose JC was cause I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So yeah. And I didn't think I would survive in a GPA system either, so yeah, that's kind of that. Oh, it is really fast. I need to alight like the next stop. It's Buena Vista. Yeah, it's Buena Vista. If you're wondering why people are boarding here, it's cause they are going like into Holland Village. So yes, every single bus service here serves a purpose. And in the distance, there is a 145 egg. 145 used to be like full single decker fleet because Henderson Road they had to trim the trees, and then now they can use eggs, which I like. Because 145 sometimes it gets really crowded. I just like how this road has like, like dedicated lanes. And not really dedicated, it's like they separate it a little bit. And yes, I'm only talking like, doing this video because the upper deck is like empty. I mean, from all the way from Marymount all the way here, I need a like 147 egg. So 145 disappeared because the last bus has already departed. I didn't know that was the last bus. 145の最終バスだった。今掲示板から消えた。日本と違い、深夜なんですけど、バスがいっぱいある。ほとんどの路線は長距離の路線。So the useful thing about like Southeast Asia in general, like in Singapore, is that like when your last like train departs, you don't have to worry because there would be buses that you could take even after like the last train has departed. And that's kind of like the useful thing about Singapore in general. It is unlike Japan whereby the last buses they end very early because like when it comes to population density, Japan is like way less dense as compared to Singapore. And therefore there isn't really any need to like run buses at such a frequency like the ones in Singapore. And in Japan you have to like walk really really far because transport connectivity like in Japan is like really terrible. Like I mean it. As someone who lives there, yeah, I can attest to it. Euro for Scania on 105. 111. That one is like 14, I think. And then this 74, this might be the last bus because it's like just camping stop. 最終バスだと思う。なので時間調整を行ってる。あ、誰もいない。So yeah, as I was filming just now, if you see any Scania KUB or like B90L right, or even like Citaro, especially on Sengkang West Depot services, please film them, because if you don't, there might be a chance whereby they just get completely wiped out from a particular service and you might regret. I mean it. Honestly, it kind of sucks, but sometimes when people blast like TikTok or music at this kind of volume, I kind of have to like compete with them when it comes to my voice. I'm only doing this because there is no one on the upper deck right now. And also because I don't want to get copyright struck. So I am chasing the 198 in front. I mean, I'm not like chasing as in about to ride it or anything, but it's like, let's just see who wins this race. But I don't think my 147 is like going to... it's getting close, it's getting close. Okay, he somehow made it. 111 Scania and a 195 Citaro. I sounded like really Japanese just now, the way I pronounced Sitaro. Oh my god, the TikTok downstairs is like really going crazy. I didn't even realize I'm on 1.5 zoom. Okay, that's better. Hayai ne. このバスだけじゃなく、前のバスも早い。You know, maybe you think of it this way, like maybe the music downstairs is like kind of an excuse for me to speak a little louder. I know but the thing is, I only do this when there is like no one on top, or if there are people on top, they are wearing headphones, so I don't really disturb them in any way. Oh my god. Off service from Tut. (123) の下ろ198の卵961のドイツ製のバスマンYou know, the vibrations of the bus, they're kind of like neutralizing the TikTok from downstairs. Maybe I have to talk more often so that like the TikTok doesn't really get in my way. But okay, you know this like kind of like shaky ride. I used to experience like this kind of shaky ride on board like Volvo Olympian 2 Exos on 93. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, so as I was saying, I used to take like Volvo Olympian 2 Exos on 93. And then my last time, it was in 2007, before like the Circle Line was a thing. Because after the Circle Line became a thing, 93 got downgraded to like a full single decker fleet, and the only double deckers it got were like occasional crossovers from like Service 7. And nowadays, because of there is like almost no demand left, they don't really do that anymore. But just telling you guys that crazy stuff like 7 crossover 93, the double decker buses, as well as like 143 crossover 93, a single decker bus slot, which sometimes, if you're lucky, you might even get a CNG, Volvo B10 BLE CNG on 93. It was a thing. You can, I don't know if like the images would pop out on Google, but 93 used to have like crossover CNG buses from time to time. So yeah, basically I was saying I took 93 from Eunos all the way to Harbourfront, and that was my last ever time I ever taken like a VO2X from Iraja Bus Park. And the only VO2Xs I've ridden are, you know, from Soon Lee, after all of them got transferred to Soon Lee. So yes, they were on like 74 and 154, but when they were in Soon Lee, before like the eventual Jurong Industrial Service confinement, they actually permed like 154 back then. So basically, if you studied in like SIM, NP, okay, SUSS wasn't a thing back then, but if you studied near there, then you might have like memories of taking 154 VO2X, or you might have memories taking 0405Gs on 184. 184 in particular didn't really get like a whole load of cameos, like, you know, from the Kranji Depot demonstrator buses. And then in like the mid 2010s, there was a period of time whereby 184 as well as 76. I think alongside 75, 920, 922, some of them were like given to Woodlands Bus Depot, and then because of that, they kind of gotten like nice cameos, I would say. It's like you could have like Vulgar and Bendy buses running on them, and yeah, stuff like that. But as for 184 in like Crunchy Depot side in the 2000s, the cameos weren't like it weren't really like it wasn't really that wild as far as I remember, cause like I don't even think TIB 905Y ever ran on 184. It was like sticky on 941, and then sometimes it ran around Bukit Batok, but it never did 184, I think. Someone please correct me if it actually did. Cause yeah. Oh, it's 1 hour, I think I better end it here. Oyasumi. And please don't blast music in the bus. Thank you.